What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. There's a lot that needs to be talked about, so let's go. First of all, I don't know if y'all know about this, but vowing to reclaim U.S. leadership in space, Donald Trump has announced on Monday that he is directing the Pentagon to create a new Space Force as an independent service branch aimed at ensuring American supremacy in space. The fuck? Seriously, he said that in a video. Watch the video, y'all.
When it comes to space, too often, for too many years, our dreams of exploration and discovery were really squandered by politics and bureaucracy, and we knocked that out. So important for our psyche, what you're doing. It's going to be important monetarily and militarily, but so important for right up here, the psyche. We don't want China and Russia and other countries leading us. We've always led. We've gone way far afield for decades now, having to do with our subject today. We're going to be the leader by far. We're behind you 1,000%. When it comes to defending America, it is not enough to merely have an American presence in space. We must have American dominance in space. So important. Very importantly, I'm hereby directing the Department of Defense and Pentagon to immediately begin the process necessary to establish a Space Force as the sixth branch of the armed forces. That's a big statement. I am instructing my administration to embrace the budding commercial space industry. We are modernizing out-of-date space regulations. They're way out of date. They haven't been changed in many, many years. And today we're taking one more step to unleash the power of American ingenuity. In a few moments, I will sign a new directive to federal departments and agencies. They will work together with American industry to implement a state-of-the-art framework for space traffic management.
Is he trying to come up with the new Power Ranger series or something? I mean, there are already 3 different series with Power Rangers that had the word Force in the title: Time Force, Mystic Force, and Wild Force. If you never watched Power Rangers, I feel so sorry for you. Who hurt you? But yes, is he trying to come up with a new Power Rangers, series or something with this whole Space Force thing? It's weird. And Trump apparently he envisioned a bright future for the U.S. space program, pledging to revive the country's flagging efforts, return to the moon, and eventually send a named mission that could reach Mars. And he framed space as a national security issue, saying he does not want China and Russia and other countries leading us. Now, Trump has previously suggested the possibility of creating a space unit that would include portions equivalent to parts of the Air Force, our Army, and the Navy. But his directive will task the Defense Department to begin process of establishing the Space Force as the sixth branch of the U.S. Armed Forces. Again, it's just hilarious. And he said the new branch creation will oversee by General Joseph Dunford, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. And Trump said around this thing, he said, when it comes to defending America, it is enough to merely have an American presence in space. We must have American dominance in space. And then he added, we are going to basically have the Air Force and we are going to have the Space Force separate but equal. The fuck? I don't know. And then Trump also said that, he used the White House event to establish a new policy for reducing satellite clutter in space. The policy basically calls for providing a safe and secure environment up in orbit as satellite traffic increases. What are you talking? I don't know, but it also sets up new guidelines for satellite design and operation to avoid collisions and spacecraft breakups. Now, if you watch the video, Trump was joined by Mike Pence, and who led the recently revived Space Council, as well as several cabinet members, NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine, retired astronauts and scientists. And the council's executive secretary, Scott Pace, told reporters that before the meeting and everything, that space is becoming increasingly congested and current guidelines are inadequate to address the challenge. So basically, he trying to come up with a new Power Ranger series. I'm just like, all right, what time is it? It's Morphing time. Space Force. I fucking don't know. But it's so stupid. Why the fuck is he coming up with this bullshit? It's just, oh my god, it's just unbearable to even hear about this, y'all. Seriously. And then you think that the Space Force is like a high priority for him, but it's just, I don't know, because right now he thinking the Space Force is going, just going to do well. People are going to be like looking at this weirdly and everything along the way, and they're going to forget about the whole family separation. So, if you don't know so much about this kind of thing, then you're living under a rock. But as attention to the issue of child separation reaches a new high on Monday, the Trump administration is trying to defend what critics call cruel and immoral policy by releasing photos and video of the facilities that the children are held in that are separated from their parents. But far from tampering with criticism, it only increases critics' horror. Now, these buildings, they used to be Walmarts and everything along the way, but they have now been converted into facilities that look like large schools. But, the children aren't there by choice. And when Senator Jeff Merkley visited a detention center for an unoccupied immigrant children 2 weeks ago in McAllen, Texas, what he saw just basically shocked him. He said there were hundreds of children locked up in cages that are at this facility. He told this to CNN, and he added that the cages were made out of fencing and then wire and net stretched across from them so that way people couldn't climb out of them. And since that interview, there's been major pushback from both administrations and conservative reporters who argue that conditions aren't nearly as dire as Merkley and others describe. Now, this was said by Attorney General Jeff Sessions. He said that those children are being well taken care of. I feel like you're lying on that part on a high level. And he said that when he was asked by radio host Hugh Hewitt about the treatment of the children being separated from their parents. And what appears to be basically a public relations effort to counter some of the, damning descriptions of the detention centers, U.S. Customs and Border Patrol Border Protections, my apologies, is now giving the Border Patrol public the opportunity to see the conditions that they live in by, releasing videos and everything of the McAllen location. And the Department of Health and Human Services also shared images of a shelter that unoccupied immigrant children are sent to Brownsville, Texas, as they leave the Border Patrol Center. And basically, the Trump administration has separated at least 2,000 families from the U.S.-Mexican border, and this has happened over the last 6 weeks. And with this, activists are organizing a nationwide effort on June 30th to protest Trump's administration on policy of separating families that are caught crossing the U.S.-Mexican border. And then Trump's wife, she doesn't even want to be a part. She thinks that this is wrong. You got former First Lady Michelle Obama. You got Laura Bush. You got other First Ladies who also think that this is just so wrong for them. And myself, even seeing about this is just so undignified. Trump is like, no, we're not doing this and everything along the way. But you actually are separating these kids from their families, and you think that this is okay. And then Ann Coulter, she had the nerve of calling the crying immigrant kids of the location child actors. hold on. At what point do you think that all these children who are crying, child actors, are you serious? What is going on in your mind right now, Ann Cotel? Well, not a lot because you think that these children are basically child actors. But you are so stupid to even think about it. If I went there, you can see the sadness in these kids, that they're dealing with from being separated from their families, and they don't even get a chance to even see, give them a hug, you know, get the chance to see it, like do something with them and everything else on the way. But yeah, apparently Trump, Trump thinks that this is okay, but yet at the same time he's like, no, this really isn't happening. You know what I mean? But the last thing I want to talk about is, with this whole Space Force, you got this whole family separation thing, and it's just so much to understand as to what our nation goes through. Excuse me. And hearing about, these things, what else is going on in our own way. Rappers nowadays, they're out there, making it big and everything along the way, but at the same time, they also have, a dark side, something bad happens to them. XXXTentacion, I don't know how to say his name correctly. If you guys don't know, he was fatally shot in Deerfield Beach, California, on Monday, and basically born as Joshe Onforo. I don't know if I said his name correctly. He was just 20 years old, people. Now, according to TMZ, he was basically shot inside his vehicle while shopping for motorcycles. And witness told police that a Louis Vuitton bag was stolen from his car. Now, X was taken to the hospital and he was pronounced dead on Monday evening by the uh, Brownwood Sheriff's Office. And his death follows in a year in which, he made a breakout success, commercial success, that was frequently overshadowed by his alleged history of domestic violence. Now, he was facing 15 felony charges, which included counts of false imprisonment, aggravated battery of a pregnant woman, and domestic battery by strangulation. And this all incidents that included his girlfriend in 2016. Now X spent time in jail and on house arrest while awaiting trial and everything. But during that time, he appeared in XXL's 2017 freshman list, and he released two of his first albums, 17 and Question Mark, and both were on the Billboard 200, with 17 reaching number 2 and Question Mark peaking at number 1 in March. And in May, basically Spotify just took all of his music away because of the whole, and because of his in-house policy due to policy change and everything, and to take away people who are part of like domestic violence, that kind of thing. And hearing about this, the guy was 20 years old, 20, and going out there, you're out there making money, out there meeting all your fans and everything. Yet there's still going to be a lot of things happening, a lot of craziness happening and everything along the way. As a musician, in a way, I get worried too. If I go out there, if I make it big and I'm just out here like, oh yeah, blah 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 this, blah 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 that, I don't care about you. Something can happen. You just got to be careful as to how your actions take place in life. And my thoughts and prayers goes out to him and his family. It's just a lot to just a lot to hear about this. But with that being said, I want you guys to tell me what your thoughts are on X. About the family separations, about this whole space force that Trump is trying to create, and anything else that's on your mind. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Let people know I'm out there for you guys, because I am always out there for you guys, trying to get the good information and giving it to you people. But I hope you guys are having a wonderful summer so far. I know I'm hot a little bit because it's Texas, but I hope you guys are having a wonderful summer. I love you guys. Peace out.